We know no one is immune to this virus, not even a prince. The heir to the British throne, Prince Charles, has tested positive, one of more than 9,000 cases in the UK. He's 71 years old. He's said to be doing well. The worry is not just about him, but all the other people he's interacted with recently, including his mother, the Queen. Crystal Goomansingh reports.
This is the Prince of Wales avoiding handshakes during one of his most recent public appearances.
It was obviously fairly shocking news that Prince Charles tested positive. He's probably one of the most high-profile people in the world who's now got the virus. But the good news is that he's supposed to have fairly minor symptoms.
His wife Camilla tested negative. The couple is now in isolation in Scotland. It's not known where Prince Charles picked up the virus, but he's been at many events, including one earlier this month with Prince Albert of Monaco, who tested positive on the 12th. The 12th is also the last time Prince Charles saw his mother. The Queen is in good health, according to Buckingham Palace, as is her 98-year-old husband, Prince Philip.
The two of them are at Windsor Castle in lockdown, and they're just being served by a very small staff of close aides, only about 7 or 8 of them.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson did not see the Queen for their regular meeting. They spoke over the telephone. A lockdown is in place in the UK in an effort to save lives. More than 400 here have already died of the virus. Crystal Goomansingh, Global News, London.
India is taking a tough approach to enforcing the lockdown in that country, which is in place for 21 days. Police are out in force wearing masks and physically punishing those who are breaking the rules and going out. Roadblocks are in place, and all 1.3 billion people, except essential workers, have been told to stay home. Only about 600 people have tested positive in India, but it's expected that number will spike and hospitals will soon be overwhelmed. Police are patrolling the streets of New York City, the epicenter of the outbreak in the United States. Anyone who has recently been to that city is being asked to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. And in Washington, lawmakers passed a $2 trillion emergency relief bill. It is the biggest in American history, and it did give the markets a boost. The TSX closed up 568 points today, ending the day at over 13,000. The Dow Jones climbed 495 points to close at just over 21,000. New York State's governor, though, says that bill doesn't give his state nearly enough money to deal with the crisis. Jackson Proskow reports.
In New York State, the situation grows worse by the day. The number of confirmed cases is more than 30,000 and rising. New York City morgues are reportedly nearing capacity.
Ventilators, ventilators, ventilators. We need 30,000.
Medical workers are already reusing masks and conserving the supplies they have.
I would be lying if I didn't say there's incredible amounts of stress.
In neighboring New Jersey, doctors at one hospital say the 10 ventilators they have simply won't be enough.
If the worst is yet to come, as we're expecting, then it won't be.
The only good news, restrictive social distancing measures may be working. The rate of hospitalization has slowed slightly. New York City is now preparing to close some of its busiest roads to make more room for pedestrians to space themselves out, as anyone leaving the city is asked to self-quarantine for 2 weeks.
We mandated the isolation of all individuals that fly to Florida from the New York City area.
Similar outbreaks are growing in communities across the U.S. Louisiana has seen its numbers surge.
Help is on the way.
In Washington, urgency has led to a rare show of unity as lawmakers reach a deal on a $2 trillion relief package, one that will include direct payments to Americans and bailouts for businesses big and small.
This is not even a stimulus package. It is emergency relief.
And late today, the president tweeted that, quote, the media is the dominant force in trying to get him to keep the country closed in the interest of damaging his prospects at re-election. Dawna, that's obviously not true. It's state and local officials who are listening to public health guidance. And those public health officials say half, if not more, of the cases they're seeing of confirmed coronavirus right now are in young people under the age of 50.
Yeah, that is deeply worrying. Jackson Proskow in Washington, thank you. There are warnings tonight of a potential disaster across the American prison system because of COVID-19. There are already a number of positive cases among inmates and staff, and overcrowded conditions are fueling the spread of the virus. Several states have already started to release thousands of inmates. Jeff will continue to consult with experts and try to answer your questions. Send them to yourquestions@globalnews.ca. And on our website, you'll find a special page dedicated entirely to COVID-19. That's at globalnews.ca/coronavirus.